The Brick School. By 1912, Athabasca was experiencing the full weight of what some historians call the Anglo-colonial settler revolution. This particular phase of the settler movement began in the 1880s, and by the time it reached Western Canada during the first decade of the 20th century, there was a sense that the frontier was disappearing and good land was running out. Indeed, for a time Athabasca advertised itself as the gateway to the last West. Population increases in the town alone provide some sense of the impact of the settler boom. In 1905, for example, there were about 250 persons living in Athabasca. By 1910, the population nearly doubled to 450. Then, over the course of just 1 year, the town grew from 450 to more than 1,100, and town authorities believed the population would double again before long. A small one-room school had been built during the winter of 1903 and 1904, but by the beginning of 1912 it was literally bursting at the seams, and the town and the school board faced a real crisis. One of the board members recalled that a group of citizens met in a confectionery store and discussed the matter while sitting on sacks of onions. Eventually, the board struck a deal with the Hudson's Bay Company to purchase 5 lots, and the province authorized about $40,000 in debentures. In 1913, a new school board was created to reflect the town status Athabasca had recently been granted. During the planning sessions, it soon became clear that the proposed building was to be much more than a mere school. Marion Gill, who would become the first principal of the school, later recalled the board declaring that what is needed up here is a symbol of British institutions. The board agonized over the architectural plans and the proposed building materials before settling on a collegiate Gothic design constructed with Calgary brick and Indiana bastone, perhaps odd choices for a symbol of British greatness. The building contract for the school, rumored to be worth some $30,000, was awarded to H.A. Barrow, part of the firm which had built the Methodist and later the United Church. On September 26, 1913, Harvey Cull, Athabasca's first pharmacist and chair of the school board, laid the cornerstone with a sterling silver trowel, which now resides in the Athabasca Archives. The brick school was constructed during the winter of 1913 and 1914. It opened on Monday, February 23, 1914, amid much fanfare. A group of locals staged the play The Pied Piper of Hamelin to mark the special occasion. The new building was a marked improvement over the old one-room school. The new school contained 2 classrooms on the ground floor and a cloakroom. The upper floor also had 2 classrooms. The basement, constructed with 18-inch thick cement walls, contained a heating plant and 2 additional playrooms, one for the boys and one for the girls. The massive boiler is still housed in the basement of the building. The school was floored throughout with maple. It was an impressive structure, and for a number of years Alberta's Department of Education featured the brick school in promotional literature the department sent to England. Over the years, the brick school underwent a number of changes and additions. The basement was eventually converted into classrooms. More rooms were added during the Second World War, and by the early 1950s, there were 14 rooms and a gymnasium trying to accommodate more than 450 students. Post-war growth and prosperity prompted the construction of Edwin Parr Composite School in 1954. A new elementary school was built in 1966, and the old brick school, which had served the town for more than half a century, closed its doors.